all you MultiVersus fans out there, yesterday we got a new character announced, and it's our next character. They're going to be releasing on Tuesday, September 6th. So yeah, we have our next character coming on Tuesday. So on Wednesday, Tony tweeted out something coming tomorrow that the team at Player First Games put together, #MultiVersus. And Player First Games added, "You absolutely will not want to miss this." We weren't sure exactly what we'd see, but they were really hyping this one up. I made this speculation video, and my guess was that we were most likely going to get Gizmo revealed. Well, the next day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at MultiVersus on Twitter posted, "We've got a little fluffy surprise headed your way on Tuesday," and a short teaser video as well. In the video, Stripe runs past the camera and it zooms in on a box with a bunch of stuff around it. The box then slowly opens up to reveal a brief glimpse of Gizmo from Gremlins. So surprise, surprise, our guess was totally right. Gizmo was revealed. And he's releasing Tuesday. I can't wait to play as Gizmo. A little shocking our next character isn't Rick, as the premiere of Season 6 for Rick and Morty is this Sunday. Seems like it would have been a good time to release Rick to celebrate the season premiere, but oh well, I'm happy we're getting Gizmo next week. We also have some big patch coming next week that supposedly will fix a lot of the bugs and core system issues and the Hitbox Hurtbox update stuff. So I'm unsure if that patch will release at the same time as Gizmo, but I'd say most likely this big patch and Gizmo will probably release together next week. And before I go any further with this video, quick disclaimer and spoiler warning. Everything I talk about in these videos are just rumors. I'm simply talking about rumors of alleged data mines and leaks that are already out there being discussed on the internet. Nothing is certain, and I show no proof of anything. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet. But also, spoiler warning, just in case any of these rumors happen to come true. Alright, so there are a few things worth noting about this Gizmo reveal. One thing we should keep in mind going forward with character speculation is that we guessed at Gizmo because of rumors that his perks and mastery rewards were found in the game's code recently, and that his character icon had been added back in. So probably a safe bet that if this happens in the future for a different character, that will likely be the next character to get released. So this is somewhat similar to how right before LeBron James, Rick, and Morty were revealed at Comic-Con, the official MultiVersus Discord added 3 mystery question mark channels. And we said how that likely would be a good thing to keep an eye out for, as it could indicate when characters were about to be revealed to us. Now, if we hear rumors of character perks and mastery rewards and character icons in data mines showing up in the game's code, probably a good sign that character will be next. It's something else to look out for. So speaking of the LeBron, Rick, and Morty Comic-Con character reveal, we now have yet another unique way they decided to reveal a character to us. We had the very lackluster Velma reveal, which ended up just being a tweet that didn't even show an image of her. We had the awesome CGI character trailer, which revealed Iron Giant. And we had the Comic-Con reveal, which was just a slideshow, but revealed for a private audience, LeBron James, Rick, and Morty. And then we had the new login screen for Season 1, which revealed Black Adam and Stripe. Now we have this Gizmo short teaser trailer reveal. It's not a full-blown CGI trailer like before, but I will say I much prefer character reveal videos of any quality when it's possible to get them, over simply getting images or something like that. So I hope this Gizmo reveal trailer starts a trend with how we get new characters announced. Though MultiVersus has clearly not standardized how they'll reveal fighters to us. It's been very different almost every time they've revealed a character so far. Stripe was subtly shown in this trailer, though they had already been revealed in that Season 1 login screen. Similar to how Velma had already been technically revealed in that tweet, though we didn't see her, but we actually got to see her model at the end of the CGI character trailer. So we kind of got to see a quick glimpse of the gremlin Stripe in this video. I wouldn't mind if this became our trend for character reveals. At the beginning of a season, we get a new login screen with artwork of 2 fighters that will show up at some point during that season. And then we also get short cutscene teaser videos that announce when characters will release, like what happened with Gizmo here. That'd be cool in my opinion. I'd be happy with that system of reveals if that's what they go for. And of course, maybe getting the occasional big CGI trailer for certain major updates, like whenever we're out of open beta or something, maybe they'll do a big CGI trailer for the actual launch of the game officially or something, or possibly other like con reveals here and there as well, if it makes sense to do so for a big con moment. Alright, so let's analyze this teaser trailer a bit. Right at the start, we get a brief shot of Stripe, and this appears to be some kind of attic room or something. I don't know if it's a new stage or not. Then, of course, we have Gizmo's classic Mogwai box from the movie, but there's a bunch of other stuff around it. Maybe these relate to Gizmo's moveset. We have Popcorn here, and we know from the rumored data mines, Popcorn is in his moveset in some way. But there's lots of other stuff here too, a clock, the tricycle, some old TV, I think, and a keyboard. Gizmo has played the keyboard before, so possibly all this stuff might be part of his moveset. A saw blade also rolls into frame from off screen where Stripe's shadow is on the floor. Supposedly Stripe had a chainsaw in his moveset, though maybe the code just said saw, and it could be a circular saw blade instead. Though I'd still really like to see Stripe use a chainsaw since he does use one in the movie. Maybe it'll be both. Speaking of stuff from the Gremlins movies, @MultiVersus tweeted the 3 rules from the film. The ones about how to take care of a Mogwai. Don't expose them to sunlight, don't get them wet, and don't feed them after midnight. Breaking the final rule will transform a Mogwai into a Gremlin. So for a while now, I've been saying Gizmo and Stripe might be the same character, some kind of 2-in-1 character, maybe a transforming character like Sheik and Zelda used to be in Smash. Since Mogwais can transform into gremlins, though Gizmo does not transform into a gremlin ever in the movies, and he certainly doesn't transform into Stripe. Well, I guess I jumped the gun assuming that one. I even thought it had basically been confirmed, to be honest, after Tony said this thing in a podcast. But turns out I was totally wrong on that. The evidence actually started piling up against the idea of them being a 2-in-1 character, as supposedly lots of stuff in the code began pointing to Gizmo as a separate character from Stripe, like being bought separately and having their own character select screen spots. And then a few hours after the Gizmo teaser trailer dropped, Tony put the debate to rest by saying Gizmo and Stripe are 2 separate characters. And then when Tony was asked if they are Echo Fighters or something, Tony said no, completely different characters. And Player First Games added, Gizmo and Stripe will be separate iconic fighters joining the roster. Gizmo's up first. Feel free to choose between cute and cuddly or scaly and chaotic. Decisions. What's your choice? So Gizmo and Stripe are confirmed to be completely separate characters, and Gizmo is releasing first. So we should only expect to see Gizmo on Tuesday, not both characters, despite Stripe being in this Gizmo teaser trailer. Obviously, Stripe had already been shown off separately on the login screen for Season 1, and on the official website, Stripe has their own spot, though this hasn't yet updated with a spot for Gizmo. Also, the official MultiVersus Discord server now has 2 separate channels for Gizmo and Stripe. Honestly, I'm happy to hear they are separate characters. As much as I had talked about the possibilities of them being a 2-in-1 fighter somehow, it does fit representing the movie better to have them separate. These are totally different characters, so they should be their own characters. So why did we think they might be together anyway? Well, one thing was Tony saying Gizmo Stripe during this podcast, when he was talking about already revealed characters, and Gizmo had not been revealed yet. So I guess that was just a slip-up of him accidentally revealing Gizmo there, but it almost sounded like Gizmo Stripe was a singular character the way he said it. But really, the reason we were assuming they might be a 2-in-1 fighter all stemmed from how the characters were allegedly listed in the game's code. There's supposedly a list of a bunch of playable characters in the game's code, all labeled as C0 and then a number. Gizmo and Stripe were oddly labeled as C023A and C023B. So because of the A and B labeling, we were thinking they'd be linked somehow. But obviously, we now have confirmation that is not the case. Maybe at one time they were going to be a generic Mogwai and generic Gremlin transforming character, but they opted to do named characters from the Gremlins movies instead and changed it to Gizmo and Stripe and separated them from the original idea of having a transformation character. That's just a speculative possibility for why there was that oddity in the way they were labeled on the C0 list, though. Who knows for sure what was up with that? Anyway, now that this labeling in the C0 list doesn't seem to mean much for Gizmo and Stripe, it's possible the other oddity here might not mean much either. I'm talking about Nubia having their own spot on this list. Nubia seems more like a good option for a Wonder Woman variant than their own unique character. So maybe their name only shows up here because they were playing around with how variants might work in the game. Maybe they weren't sure if they'd need to give the variants their own spots on this list or not. As variants seem to be a bit different than just skins, they have their own unique voice lines, so maybe they were just playing around with that. And Nubia is just a relic on the list from testing with that stuff. Again, that's just me speculating though. We still can't be certain if Nubia will be a variant for Wonder Woman or their own separate character. But now that Gizmo and Stripe are confirmed to be separate fighters, I think there's a good chance Nubia is in fact just a Wonder Woman variant, and some of the things on the C0 list are just labeled strangely, maybe from prior older builds of working on the game. Alright, so the other really interesting thing with getting Gizmo on Tuesday is that the about every 2 weeks theory holds up. So we've been guessing that the plan might be to release new characters about every 2 weeks. That might be the pace they're aiming to roll out fighters. Seems like a super fast schedule to maintain, but with Gizmo releasing on Tuesday, September 6th, that is 2 weeks after getting Morty on August 23rd. For how long this pace will continue, I do not know, but we know Stripe, Black Adam, and Rick have to release in Season 1, and Season 1 ends November 15th. We also have rumored DATAMINE evidence suggesting Beetlejuice and the Wicked Witch of the West, and possibly Marvin the Martian, might also all be out fairly soon, potentially during Season 1. So a while back, I did a mock-up roadmap image of fighters releasing every 2 weeks throughout Season 1 and what that might look like. Well, now that we know Gizmo and Stripe are separate characters, and that Tuesday, September 6th is the release date for the next fighter, and that character is going to be Gizmo and Gizmo alone on Tuesday, we gotta update this mock Season 1 character release schedule roadmap image. Okay, so here's what I changed it to. Gizmo, of course, on the 6th, but I put Stripe next simply because Stripe was also in that teaser trailer. And the tweet saying Gizmo is releasing first kind of implies Stripe is coming soon after as well. Plus, the rumored data mines suggested Stripe might have finished playtesting already, so they might be ready to roll out Stripe pretty quickly after Gizmo. So let's say September is both Gizmo and Stripe about 2 weeks apart. Next, I put Beetlejuice simply because he's a good Halloween season character, so I feel like he'd be someone they'd want to roll out in October. Honestly, doing Stripe a few weeks before and then Beetlejuice to start off the month of October works pretty well to start off the fall season. Right now we have some summer-specific stuff in the game, but I could see Stripe or Beetlejuice showing up around the same time that they change this over to autumn seasonal stuff. Alright, then 2 weeks later, in mid-October, I put Black Adam. That would be very close to when the Black Adam movie releases, and honestly, out of every character we've seen coming in Season 1, Black Adam feels like he's only happening right now because it would coincide with the movie release. Definitely feels like he's a cross-promotional thing, so let's have him release the week of his movie around October 21st. Then I put the Wicked Witch of the West dropping on Halloween itself. I can't think of a more perfect character to release on Halloween. So I really do think that prediction will likely come true, and the Wicked Witch of the West will come out either on Halloween or extremely close to it. Now, doing all this actually moves Rick all the way out to November, but still before November 15th, which is the end of Season 1, since we know Rick will release during Season 1. It's a little strange to get a character we had announced so early on take so long to actually get released, but it would have been weird to just announce Morty and not announce Rick and Morty together, so maybe they only announced Rick so early because they were going to have Morty show up so early. And maybe they're holding off on Rick to try and get Justin Roiland into the studio to record some lines. As right now, all of Morty's lines are just ripped from the show, and he has no newly recorded lines specifically for MultiVersus. I assume Justin Roiland would record lines, but is probably just a very busy guy right now or something, but maybe that could explain why they delayed Morty a bit, and hypothetically why Rick could also be kinda late. Who knows what exactly is happening with all that, highly speculative stuff, but maybe they're holding off a bit on Rick to try to get some brand new voice lines for him in MultiVersus. Either way, the new season of Rick and Morty, I assume we'll still be getting new weekly episodes all the way into November, so Rick releasing during Season 1 of MultiVersus at all is semi-cross-promotional, with the newest Rick and Morty season happening during Season 1 of MultiVersus, even if he isn't releasing in time for the premiere of Season 6 of Rick and Morty. So obviously, with all of those characters stuffed into Season 1, this would move Marvin the Martian out of Season 1, and potentially like the first character for Season 2. But Rick and Marvin releasing close to each other, potentially in the same month, could create some interesting potential for a reveal trailer that would feature both of them. Obviously, thematically, they both fit a space theme, they both drive spaceships. I could see this leading to some cool potential interaction for like a teaser reveal trailer featuring both of them or something. Alright, obviously, all very speculative. Who knows for sure what we'll get or how any of this will go down or if we'll even get this many characters in Season 1, but we are getting Stripe, Black Adam, and Rick all during Season 1, so that's going to happen before November 15th. And even just those three happening in that time frame would be a fairly quickly paced character release schedule. But I really do think with what's rumored to have been data mined, Beetlejuice and Wicked Witch of the West will probably happen during this season as well. And it just makes sense to have them released in October as Halloween-themed characters. So this ridiculously fast-paced, new character every 2 weeks theory might hold true at least throughout Season 1. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so here's the rumored to be data mined and leaked character lineup list. It's been updated a little bit, so we have Gizmo switched over from the data mine section to now becoming a confirmed fighter. Godzilla got moved over to the limbo section for characters that might have negotiation issues, because Legendary Entertainment might be looking to leave WB, and because allegedly, rumor is Godzilla has this unused 02 codename now, while Gandalf and Ninja have unused 01. So who knows what'll happen with the Limbo characters. Hopefully getting those characters is just a waiting game to negotiate for them. And they're not scrapped entirely. That's my hope anyway. But I guess only time will tell. I left Nubia in the Datamine Fighters list here, even though I talked about how just because she's rumored to be on the C0 list, she could still simply just be like a variant for Wonder Woman. That C0 list isn't definitive. But since we don't know either way for sure, I'll leave her on here for now. Alright, so pretty exciting stuff for MultiVersus. We're getting Gizmo on Tuesday, we have a big patch coming next week, and Gizmo and Stripe are in fact separate characters. If you have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave them below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to Papa Gino's
Twitter, Patreon, Discord, Twitch.